climate change, social justice, poverty, diversity, and so forth. But it all starts from education.
There's a lack of support available for the groups and communities who are most vulnerable in our society. And as a result, voluntary organisations and charities are having to step into that space.
The biggest issue when I look at the world today is the lack of trust young people have with their world leaders. I think the decisions that world leaders are currently making don't reflect the needs and wants of our generation.
1/3 of the food produced globally are wasted. The UK produced 9.5 million tonnes of food waste every year.
In lots of areas of society, we've made great strides towards gender equality, but in engineering, the numbers haven't improved that much at all.
Changemakers is important because it's kind of everything I believe that a university should be. It's about addressing big problems, it's about having open conversations, it's about bringing people together.
Students are offered a powerful co-curricular programme that sits alongside their degree, and it's free to every Homerton student. It's structured around really knowing oneself, gritty tools for getting things done in society and connecting that to the wider world. We offer workshops, roundtables with influencers and esteemed guests, and we run a leadership programme in partnership with the Eden Project, Cornwall.
I think Changemakers gives students the opportunity to meet people they wouldn't meet in a normal course of their degree. So I'm thinking about artists, I'm thinking about innovators, I'm thinking about filmmakers, I'm thinking about entrepreneurs, and through that to kind of establish a network of influence.
I think my favourite events at Changemakers are the Tuesday Conversations, is where we gather and we meet and we discuss a wide variety of topics with different guests. I believe that through all of the workshops that we do and the people that we get to speak to, Changemakers has given us this idea that we can make a change in small ways that will reflect and impact the world positively.
Last year in our autumn residential programme, we had a speaker called Cindy Ford who delivered a workshop on climate change and sustainability. On the back of that, I organised a trip to Snakehall Farm on the outskirts of Cambridge. This is a voluntary organisation where we helped support their nature reserve programme, and we collaborated with Cambridge Sustainable Food.
So the event with Armando Nucci was actually planned and designed by the students. They invited him in, and as a result they got to spend a huge amount of time with him. We invited Richard Osmond along, we invited Ingrid Oliver on, so other people who are kind of big in the media.
We have a mentoring scheme that is incredibly attractive to students and partners in business, industry, philanthropy and investing, because they can see the potential of the students that they're working with.
One of the most fascinating elements of the Changemaker program is the Catalyst Fund initiative. It's an opportunity for students to apply for money, to do impactful projects to achieve a better world. And if they win the money, not only do they get this funding, but they also get allocated an industry mentor for 3 to 6 months.
Changemakers has really empowered me to feel like this is an issue that I can do something about. They connected me with Cambridge Science Centre, who work in North Cambridge with a group of 7 to 11-year-olds, the exact age that kids start to switch off from science. They provided funding for me to deliver a set of sessions on robotics and electronics and explore children's hopes for the future of technology.
Homerton Changemaker has been one of the earliest believers of what we do at Wala, from giving us the first grant to help us to build a prototype in my apartment patio, which eventually turned into a product, to helping us from mentorship, how to set up a company, to eventually how do we run our first pilot trial at Cambridge Science Park.
Students who've been part of Changemakers have gone on to do extraordinary things in the civil service, education, business, finance and the arts. They've become committed Changemakers.
Cambridge Science Centre really loved the work that I did with them, but they wanted to explore how I could leave an impact even after I'm gone. So I've been lucky enough to receive funding through the Changemakers Catalyst Fund to develop a series of kits around areas like prosthetics that really give a context to the engineering challenges in our world for children. And I hope to turn this into a business so that it can have an even bigger impact.
Changemakers has helped me on my internship program with the civil service. A lot of my interview was based on activities that I had done with Changemakers, and I think my career entails a future in public service for sure.
I am a scientist, so I hope that in the future I'll be able to work with startups and really cool laboratories to bring emerging technologies to the societies and the people that need them the most. In addition to that, I hope I will use my creativity and my creative passions to create projects, music and art that inspires people in that way as well.
I co-founded Wala, a company which automatically separates food waste from any other waste. Now, over the years, we have attracted millions of investments from the UK and beyond, setting up our own manufacturing plant, and we're now expanding into national infrastructures like Heathrow Terminal 5.
Universities like Cambridge have a responsibility to use their intellectual gift and their capacity to really step in to what feels like a vacuum of leadership, to address challenges and to fire up individuals to believe they can make a difference.
So I would say there's no other Oxbridge college where you're going to get a program as good as this, where you can easily integrate the skills that you would acquire from any ordinary internship into your college and academic life, whilst also maintaining good balance with your core studies in your department.
Here at Homerton College, we're doing extraordinary things, not least with our dynamic Changemaker program. Here, we're nurturing a new generation of leaders that have empathy, that creativity, kindness to confront the kaleidoscope of challenges out there. But we need your help. With your help and support, we will nurture a generation of leaders you'll be proud of.